Hotswap. What is it? Why should you care? Well, I care because I have a lot of different switches and I want to put them inside different keyboards, and if I can't do that and I've got to like solder them and desolder them, it's a real pain in the ass. However, that's why I was so excited about the K70 RGB Pro Mini Wireless, is because Corsair is finally doing Hotswap sockets. So let's take a look at this thing. Let's open it up. Let's see if it's still worth the kind of eye-watering $180 price tag. It comes in two switch types, I think. There's Cherry Reds and Speed RGB Silver, which is what we've got. Both of those are linear, but the beauty of Hotswap is that you can buy this board and you can put whatever you want in it. You should note that there are some switches that don't quite fit in Cherry style switch pins, like Otemu. There's a couple other guys, like all of the analog stuff from Wooding. The switches that go in those aren't gonna fit in here. But otherwise, let's see, we got our keyboard. Let's look at that later. What else comes in the box? What's in the box? That's what I want to know. You got a safety information. I don't know how keyboards are dangerous, but you never know. We've got a cable. We've got some accessories. This is great for anyone who doesn't already have stuff like this. We have what appears to be a switch puller. We get a little Corsair logo, and then we get, I think this is meant for like RGB shine through or something. That's why it's got the, oh yeah, the light kind of comes through. You get a detachable cable, which is another problem that I have with these big manufacturers. They give you a cable, and what happens if the cable breaks? You're just hooped unless you know how to solder it. Otherwise, it's just a typical sleeved USB-C to USB-A cable. But now we get to the keyboard and the moment of truth. A word from our sponsor, Vessi. Vessi footwear is known for being lightweight, easy to pack, comfortable, and most importantly, water resistant with its Dymatex technology. Their everyday move line is designed with added support at the midsole and better breathability to keep up with your active lifestyle. Take them off and put them on with ease thanks to the handy pull tab. It's also made creature-free, so every step you take will be guilt-free. Your feet will thank you for wearing these. Say goodbye to wet socks and save $25 today by using offer code ShortCircuit at vessi.com/shortcircuit. The keyboard. It's so light. Wow, it's under a kilo. It's 624 grams, which is like a pound and a half. Now, this thing is supposed to be crazy fast. That's actually one of the big advantages from buying from a brand like Corsair or Razer that I haven't seen a ton of in the more niche, like mechanical keyboard space, is that most of those that you're gonna buy are gonna be around a kilohertz, which is perfectly fine. But the thing about these guys is if you're like trying to be an esports gamer or something, these guys are gonna boast 8 kilohertz polling rate if it's wired, which is crazy fast. Also, if you want fast but still wireless, the Slipstream stuff can do up to 2 kilohertz. If we flip it over, we got some nice handy dandy feet. And then we've got like a power switch. Ooh, it lights up. They've got this like one solid band of RGB going around. I think it looks like the entire device, which is great. Otherwise, it's okay. I mean, these are just speed silvers. I bet you if you threw in something a little nicer, and you can, thanks to Hotswap, this thing would actually sound and feel a lot better. A lot of people might also want this for IQ. Like if you're just 100% into the Corsair family and you want to use IQ for all your RGB, then honestly, this is kind of the board for you unless you like need TKL or full size. How are the stabs? I don't know if these are screw-in stabilizers. It does look like they're using some kind of like proprietary thing from Corsair, and it looks like it just unclips. Like I've got the one end unclipped no problem, and I bet you if I took this top housing off, I'd be able to just pull the rest of it off. So if you buy this thing, please look into lubing your own stabilizers. You're not gonna get this like really high pitch rattle that you're hearing there. But honestly, it sounds and feels okay. The biggest hang up that I think a lot of people might have is the layout. 60% is a little small. Even for me personally, I like about a 65% where you get something like maybe your arrow keys, but a lot of people do love it, so whatever, that's totally okay. I love the transparent switches, and I love the line of RGB, the diffused light that they've got around the side here. I think that's great. And it's really easy to see everything. It's per key RGB, and they've got north-facing LEDs for those of you who care about that. As for like the quality of the rest of the materials, I think that they're saying that this is an aluminum chassis, but it's mostly plastic. It might just be this top plate here that's aluminum, but yeah, the rest, like this is definitely plastic. This is definitely plastic. So I'd really have to take it apart to verify whatever claims they're making. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't have like a ton of flex though. Like there's definitely some, and it's not super hefty. So if you're looking for that like thick CNC aluminum with like no flex and it's like 5+ pounds, you're not gonna find that here. However, if you want portability and just like ease of use, it's definitely at least an option these days. Let me take a switch out. You take this guy and then you just kind of go boop and it'll click. Once the little clips have gone past the edge of the keycap, pull it up just like that. So then you take your switch puller and you see these tiny little clips right here. There's one on the top and then there's one on the bottom. And what you want to do is just kind of get it in there and then squeeze together and pull. I don't really like this switch puller, but it works. So as you can see here, it's a 3-pin and not a 5-pin board. So if you have some switches that have the little side clips on the side here that are clearly missing, then you're not going to be able to fit it in this board. There's quite a bit of like wobble in the casing, so I don't know how much I like these actual speed silvers. You can see the top part of the casing has wiggle room. You can fix that if you wanted to. Buy some switch films or something. You can just take them apart, throw the film in on one, and then clamp it back down together. And they sound kind of scratchy, so I don't think they're lubed. Honestly, if you're gonna go and spend $180 on a keyboard, you might as well spend another like 20, 30 bucks on some lube and grease. Why not? Let me throw this guy on, see how good the RGB shines through. Yeah, it's not bad. I still hate the stabilizers, but I like the shine through on the keycap. They're double shot PBT, so they're not gonna wear out super quickly or get super shiny with use. Probably my biggest problem is that you can really hear the ping. Like when you're typing, you don't hear it too much unless you hit the spacebar, because the spacebar is always a little louder. But speaking of typing, let's do a quick typing test on it and see how it feels. Whoa, something's wrong. Oh, caps lock is on, okay. One thing about 60% to remember is that there's no F row. So to do any kind of F key stuff, I've got to hit function and then a number key. So like function 5 is F5 to refresh a page. Speaking of hitting the function key to hit alternate keys, if you look at the legend like this, that basically indicates what that does when you're hitting the function key. There's actually 2 function keys because there's like FN and then there's function 2 on this guy. So you can go function, function 2, and then press something for a bunch of macros if you wanted to configure anything. Oh no. 112, 98%, that's not bad. That's like kind of middle ground for me. I usually do over 100, but less than like 120, 130. Yeah, it's fine. I think the sound is like okay at best. It sounds like a mechanical keyboard. Does it sound like a good mechanical keyboard? No, there's a ton of rattling and stuff going on. It's kind of frustrating because Corsair and Logitech and Razer, like, and there's other companies too, but like they've been making keyboards for so long. When they first started making mechanicals, it was cool. Like it was great. You know, you could choose any of the brands and you'd probably be fine. This is like at least 10 years ago, but they have competition now with other competitors like Keychron who just have stock. Not always, but they're better than, you know, a lot of the other boutique sites that they do a group buy or they do a single order and then they're all gone. So Corsair and Logitech and the like can't simply move to Hotswap and expect to all of a sudden move a ton of units. I think it's a good step forward, and I hope to see more improvements from them. But the reality is, when you're paying another company like $180 and you're getting aluminum chassis and foam and silicone and decent switches, there's nothing wrong with these Speed Silvers, they're okay. And you know, Gaterons aren't like a ton better than Cherry in any way. With the like slipstream stuff and with the RGB and the IQ compatibility stuff, I would love to see Corsair just step up their game like one more notch and give me basically this keyboard, but with a better foaming solution on the inside of the keyboard. Like the PCB just doesn't look super high end. If you look at it, it just kind of looks plain looking. Something about this white, like plain PCB just doesn't excite me, but maybe I'm being elitist. Is this the keyboard for you? It could be. It's not bad. And with Hotswap, you know, you can really fix a lot on it. Would I buy it for $180? Probably not. Almost definitely not. but I don't use Corsair stuff. I'm also super picky. I don't like 60%, and I'm not crazy about wireless. I don't mind hooking up through a cable because I like how my pretty custom cable looks. So it could be for you, but unfortunately it's not really for me. Although, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's Short Circuit. It's the K70 Pro Mini RGB Wireless. It's a hell of a name. If you like this one, check out our video on the Zoom 65 EE Essential Edition. It's like the same price, a little cheaper even, and you kind of get a better quality board. But you know, it's missing some of the features that the big guys offer.